So, day 2 of this leg, I forgot what day it is, 118. I slept okay. It was really hot. Setting up our tents and getting inside. I stripped off all my clothes down to my boxers because everything was wet. And just kind of hung it up in my tent. And it was warm enough that it was all dry in the morning. It really didn't cool down for like 3 hours. I was just sleeping in my boxers with nothing on, no sleeping bag, probably till 1 a.m. And then put on a shirt. Pretty much that was it. I think in the morning I had like 3 or 4. I put on the sleeping bag, like half. So, but I slept okay once it cooled down. We didn't do very many miles. We did at least 14, but according to the maps, no. So today is a Baton Death March. Only nice thing I can say is the sun has really not hit me yet. And it's probably like maybe close to 10, 9 or 10. And we're just in trees the whole time. And surprisingly, we just have a little down right now. But it's still very kind of humid. Like, I stopped for water at 8 o'clock and my shirt was drenched. And the uphill's not even that hard. It's just continuous. But this heat is brutal. I'm hoping once we do our 10 miles up, we kind of sit around 5,000 feet. Maybe it'll be cooler. Hopefully we'll be in trees still. Maybe tonight will be a better night to sleep. But who knows? I think there's a water spot in a couple miles. Gonna take a break. And then gotta figure out where our next break's gonna be. That might be the long one from like 1 to 5 or 1 to 4. But we'll see. Maybe it's cool enough, we can shade enough, we can keep going. But I'll see. Just trying to drink a lot, and that's about it. Surprisingly, I didn't think it would be this green and crowded in trees, so I'm pleasantly surprised. All right, I'll get back to you after this death march is over. Finally, some view. Power line clearing. You know, I was climbing and I was tired, and I got to a clearing and I wasn't gonna look, and I would have missed that. That's Mount Shasta. Pretty cool. Good thing I looked. Does this look like a trail to you? Yeah. Thanks, a little overgrown. What you think? Not too bad? Oh, shit. Nice. There we go. Hey. Come to have lunch? those clouds? South. No other clouds in the sky. Day 118 recap. Today was 18.3 miles with a ton of up today, 4160. As you know, I told you earlier, a large part of that was 10 miles of continuous up. It wasn't bad per se. It was pretty easy grade over a long time, up and down. I don't think we planned on going this far, and there was a couple more ups to get here. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a day, but pretty huge for us, especially considering how hot it is today. I'm assuming. Sorry, getting my clothes. Thank you. So, considering how hot it was today, it was a big day. Didn't wake up early. Unfortunately, there was a lot of people around us, didn't want to wake them up. Unfortunately, they woke up early and woke me up. But it's all good. Started out. The huge thing that helped today was maybe 85% of today was in the trees, bushes out of the sun. There was a breeze, as you probably noticed from some of my clips. Towards the end of the day, that breeze really helped out to keep cool. So it definitely didn't feel like it was that hot. I think when you're in the shade, it's probably like 15 degrees colder, and then plus the wind is a big difference. Stopped a lot at all the various water sources. Everything today wasn't on trail, so you kind of have to go 0.2, 0.1. There was one ahead of us where we stopped. It was like 0.4. Unfortunately, too far to. I don't want to do 0.8 miles just to get water. So the last 2.6, we had to carry 3 liters to dry camp. But like I said, all the water sources are off the trail. A lot of them are like springs. So the water is actually delicious. It's so cold, tastes really good. Thank God, especially how hot it is today. Like I said, I didn't want to do this many miles, but tomorrow there is another like 5 mile up, kind of gradual. Not a huge amount of elevation, but if we didn't do the extra 2.6, then we might be doing that towards the later end of the morning when it's getting hotter, and I don't know if it's exposed. We did come into some parts that were exposed, and it's so much warmer. Today was very humid as well. I think by 8 o'clock I was drenched in sweat, like saturated, probably from my knees down on my pants, my whole shirt. So much so that not every time, but when we had lunch, we usually took a very long lunch, but I even took my shirt off and let it dry for like an hour because it was so bad. I felt okay today. The last part was hard with the full water carry, but despite how hot it was, I actually did pretty good. I drank a ton. Tried to get my electrolytes up and tried to snack every time we were stopped, so I think it worked out okay. Like I said, as long as we're in shade and wind, I'm okay. If that goes away, it's going to be rough. So I think we're back on track with our mileage from our small day yesterday. And I think after tomorrow, that big up is kind of like, never mind, I'm not going to say it. Because I thought today was the last big up, but apparently there's one tomorrow, so maybe there's more, but it looks like it gets easier from here. or at least from tomorrow's up. Saw a bunch of deer. I mean, actually yesterday and today, man, there's so many deer. The last clip you're gonna see is we were having lunch, and literally like heard a crack right behind me. I thought it was a hiker because we were right by the trail, and it was a deer, and he was like 5 feet away, and he stuck around the camp for like 15 minutes. Probably was still there. I left, and when I left, he was still there. So just not scared at all. Kept kind of going around the camp. I don't know if he smelled what we were cooking and wanted to try to get some of it, but it was pretty cool. Seeing a lot of deer. You'll see yesterday's video where you saw the babies. I think we've seen more deer in the last 2 days than we did in the whole Sierra. So it was pretty cool. Otherwise, obviously I don't think I filmed very much today because we were basically in a green tunnel. The trail was crazy overgrown. I showed you a clip of how crazy it can get, and a lot of it, maybe 30-40% of the trail seemed to be like that today. It's hard to see where your feet are. Sometimes you're stepping weird on rocks, or there's tree roots that you can't see. I smashed my toe a couple times because I couldn't see. Rocks are usually easier to see, but the roots you can't see because they blended, and I smashed my toe really bad a couple times. But it's hard to kind of move fast when you're just trying to protect yourself, because most of it you can kind of just bulldoze your way through, but sometimes there's actually thick branches and you can really stick yourself and scratch yourself, and gotta wear sunglasses. You may be poking your eye out or something, but so it's hard because it really slows you down, but at least it was in the shade. That was the only good part. I'm gonna keep saying that because that saved the day today. So that was it. Didn't film very much because it's just in a green tunnel all day, which is okay with me. And it seemed like we were hiking along a ridge, which you'll see some of the pictures for quite a long time, but you don't really see it. You only see it like every 3 miles or 2 or 3 miles, and then you're like, oh, we're at the ridge. So I think a lot of it's along the ridge, but it's hard to tell when you can't see anything. Otherwise, that's all the big stories from today. Nothing real crazy. Hard, hot, and up. That was today. So we'll see. Tomorrow, I think we got a couple miles of easy, and then those 5 miles up, and then I'm not sure what up after. Hopefully, it'll be easier and we get that done during the heat of the day. Hopefully, it's like this again. We take our usual long lunch, but we didn't take like a 3 hour break to bypass some of the heat. Just kept going. So I think I got into camp or started setting up at 6, which is pretty good for us considering how much up we did today. That's some good mileage. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully cooler. Also, I filmed a little picture of the clouds. They're crazy looking. They're far away, but it's a very small point of the sky and just huge, thick ones. I don't know if that's a fire or a weather system or something, but it was pretty interesting. But anyways, it was cool to see Shasta throughout the day. Every time we kind of hit the ridge. The site where I'm at, there's actually another tent site that's right on the edge of the ridge that looks at Shasta, which is really cool. But it's right in the sun, so it's like sitting in the sun for 2 hours just to see that. So might go over there at sunset and take a look. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat and get ready for bed. Nice thing about getting here early too is I already took off all my clothes and dried them out, including my underwear. Man, those things, sometimes when you get in your tent, they just kind of are damp for hours. So got those dried out too, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, peace.